pitch. Is Luke toward shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. And it's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Boston radio personality Lou Blasi.
Welcome, everyone. High above courtside, 18th floor, Phoenix Towers in beautiful Singer Island. Tom Zapp, along with my good friend, our producer, Lou Blasi. Joe, you want to get with the program now? Okay, there we go.
I'm working, Tom.
I know he's working hard.
Joe Tomasulo, our good pal from Golden Auctions. Joe, what are you doing right now? Are you making money right now? What are you doing?
I'm working on a consignment.
Are you? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's a very rare 1905 Christy Matheson, Charles Conlon photo, and a 21-22 Conlon Babe Ruth.
Are they both the original type ones, right?
Right. Yes, they're Charles Conlon. Yep.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, Joe, I was gifted yesterday from my cousin who works with the Nolan Ryan Foundation and worked with Nolan Ryan Beef and all that stuff. They had an auction for some memorabilia, and he got me a signed Ted Williams poster, PSA certified and authenticated, Nolan Ryan number 22 on there. And so I'm going to sell it. How much is it worth? No.
Wait a minute. Say, what is it again?
Ted Williams signed poster.
What size?
It's big. It's
16 by 20.
Bigger.
Is it
so 20 by 24?
20 by 24, yeah.
Signed in Sharpie?
Signed in a Sharpie, yep.
Yeah, it's probably worth $400 or $500.
Get out of here.
I'm not even sure that much, huh?
No, it's probably worth $300, Joe.
No, I think on 20 by 24, I'm going to push 4.
Beautiful photo, and again, authenticated by PSA and all that stuff.
Joe, you know, I have one that I've never priced up. I have it's a 9 by, what is it? 9 by, not 8 by 12, the next size up. I have a really nice black and white signed, it's Mickey and Ted together, signed by each one of them, authenticated. Is that worth any money? I mean, that's just in my office in hand.
What size?
What is it? 9 by
12?
12, yeah.
They're not personalized, right?
No.
Mickey and Ted, that's
together.
Yeah, 500.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Roughly. Yep.
That's what I figured. All right. All right, listen.
Good pieces.
Huh?
Good pieces, both.
Yeah, they're nice pieces.
Yeah. Oh,
Joe,
beautiful.
you know, want to talk about nice pieces? Let's talk about Joe Tomasulo's collection. Why don't you tell us a few of the things that Joe Tomasulo has? Lou, I don't know if you know anything about his collection.
No, his personal collection, no.
Oh, Joe, would you like to? Okay, Joe, right out of the gate.
Out of the gate, signed Lou Gehrig rookie card.
You have a signed Lou Gehrig rookie.
Rated a PSA 4.
PSA 4. If it went to auction today, what could you get for it?
I'm going to say the low would be $1 million and the high would be 1.5.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Now you also have, but I believe
signed at the time, signed contemporarily, or signed later.
Actually, the signature Lou is consistent with 26 with the 26 Gehrig signature.
Okay.
So signed the year after the card came out.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah.
All right. Now you had at one time, I remember you also had a 33 Gaudy Ruth signed, correct? But I think you got rid of that.
That card was sold recently.
Okay, now you want to share what you sold that card for?
I will not.
I know what you sold it for.
I know, but I will not share.
Okay, can you share what you paid for it?
$140,000.
Oh my God!
Back in 2019.
So, Joe, do you have to pay capital gains?
Yeah.
I mean, the capital gains on that damn thing, like it was astronomical.
Let me ask you something. Are you working for the government?
I am not. Trust me.
Okay. I'm just curious, Tom.
Trust me. I am not.
You brought me on the show to talk about my capital gains?
just asking.
Making
man.
sure I'm doing a Schedule C? Is that what you're
Just a
doing?
happy
what-
accident, that's all.
Joe, what are some of the other pieces that you have in your collection? Honestly, I mean, you've got some.
I mean, I got an incredible Babe Ruth card collection, including a very nice 3.5 rookie card that's extremely well scented. I have two of my favorite pieces are not cards. I picked up last year a 1923 Lou Gehrig Charles Conlon original Type 1 photo.
Wow.
There's only 4 known first year 1923 Gehrig Yankee Type 1s. And this is a classic batting. It's autographed by Gehrig between his legs, near his cleats,
Yeah.
signed in the 23-24 period. Best wishes to Ben Roderick. He gifted it to Ben, who was his Columbia College football and baseball teammate.
No kidding.
Wow.
It has a full letter of provenance from Ben's granddaughter, Lisa Roderick.
You know,
It's the photo alone, Tom, would be worth $250,000. Signed, use your imagination.
so Joe, I mean, obviously you keep this stuff in a vault somewhere, I'm assuming.
Yes.
You know, I was talking to Doug Allen about a week and a half ago, and I don't know if you remember this, but Doug Allen said that you really helped him pay tuition for his daughter's.
No, it wasn't tuition. It was, my memory's better than his.
What was it?
I bought a signed Christy Mathewson letter.
Correct.
That he
Right.
said he would never part with. He bought his daughter a car.
A car. That's what it was. It was an automobile. Right.
Yes.
He said, you know, Joe, he says, I'll always have a soft place in my heart for Joe because he really helped me. Actually, Joe bought my daughter her first car.
At the price I paid, he should have a soft spot.
He said to me, and he said, you know what he did? He honestly said that you knew that you were overpaying a little bit, and he did appreciate that. He made that comment. He says Joe knew that he was overpaying.
I think
and
I paid in the low 20s, something like that.
at the time. That was quite a while ago.
It was
right?
strong. It was strong at the time. What Doug doesn't know is it just sold for $1.2 million. So I'm just joking.
Joe, let's go to the other side of this. What's your holy grail? What's out there that you don't have? That you
Ooh, good
that you'd
question,
say,
Louis
sir?
boy.
Well,
That you could afford. I mean, let's not talk about the.
I've owned all 4 Gowdy Root signed by Root. I've owned others beyond that. And because I sold my last one, I would like another one, Lou. I miss it in my collection. The problem is, you guys well know, and I'll jump ahead a little because we're going to get to it in the show. We sold a record price, a signed Gowdy Root for $1.464 million.
Wow.
$1.5 million for all intents and purposes. And to buy another one now, it's going to be too costly.
Joe, I want to play. I want to speak on behalf of the 80% of the people. No, the 90% of the people, maybe the 95% of the people that cannot afford memorabilia or cards like that. So, and
I'm one of them now, Tom.
Well, no, I'm going to use golden auctions and I'm going to use heritage auctions as in my question. Do you guys find people have said to me that they sometimes feel like they get lost in a golden auction or a heritage auction because they just can't afford the items? But I went through your last auction and working backwards, man, there are some very affordable
Guys,
items, right?
Yeah, my vintage auction, my golden vintage auction, is for the low end, the middle, high end collector. It touches all collectors. It does. We sell items in there for $250. We sell items for 250,000. I mean, and all the numbers in between.
Now,
So
do you take does Joe Tomasulo of the in your most recent vintage auction, in your auction, how many lots were there? Do you remember? About.
yes, they were about 1,150, give or take.
Now, of those 1,150, obviously you have a team. How many of those do you just take the high end stuff on your end? I mean,
No, I take anything. I took like 10 T206s worth $200 to $500
okay.
in one consignment. So
I don't know if I told you this, but I have a nice ticket that I may send your way. It's the opening day ticket that I have. Lou, I don't know if I told you this.
I don't know.
So
is this a conflict of interest?
No, McGinnis
Oh, okay.
Auctions, Louis.
Yes. Heard
Okay.
of them. Yeah.
So McGinnis Auctions, I was sitting, I don't know, on the internet. This is about 2 years ago. And John McGinnis was having a live auction on the internet. So, and it said baseball memorabilia. Now, he's not a baseball memorabilia guy. So I went through it, and there was some really cool stuff. It was all the stuff was left by an old man from Exeter, New Hampshire, that had passed away, and his son got rid of it. So he had two items, one of which I wound up bidding on and bought. I bought a game used ticket to the very first game, dated April 19th, 1912, the very first game ever played at Fenway Park.
Oh, wow.
Cool piece.
Love it.
So I bought the piece and I was really excited about it. As a matter of fact, the next day I drove up to Exeter to pick it up and really excited. So I send it off to PSA. I have all the provenance. I send it off to PSA and they don't grade it. They won't authenticate it because they have a policy now that they will not authenticate. It was rain out. The game was played on April 19th. They got rained out, so the actual game took place on the 20th, and PSA would not authenticate the card. Joe, what do I do?
Tom, I've done some research since we spoke, and the mindset behind them not encapsulating that, because there's no validity as to when that ticket could have been reused. Obviously, it was reused for another game. So we can, allegedly state that, yeah, you could have used it for the true opening day, April 20th, but that may not be the case because there was a game April 20th and people had, maybe the stands were filled with that ticket. So you don't really know for sure when the game was replayed. Again, the little ambiguity behind that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right, that makes sense. I never thought of that.
Right, but to what's in your court, what works for you, it was originally printed as the first game at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
Its original intent was opening day to the general public at Fenway. So it's got a great history. 5 days after the Titanic sunk, I think on the 14th.
Yeah.
So I think it's a winner. It's a great ticket. How many are out there?
There were only, well, see, this is the thing that kind of fries my ass, to be honest with you. There were only 3 in existence.
To the best of our knowledge.
To the best of our knowledge. And before PSA changed their policy, the very first one got authenticated, graded, and sold for, I think, $19,000. Then of the other 2, I don't know what happened to the other one. I think it may have gone into an auction and sold raw, and that's what happened to mine. But one of them got through, the very first one, and then PSA changed their policy. So kind of aggravating.
Did it have notation that it was the very first game at Fenway Park on the ticket?
Yeah, Joe, I sent you an image. Hold on, Louis. You guys chat real quickly, and I will tell you because I have an image right here. I don't know.
I'm always freaking out. You mentioned the Titanic. I'm always freaked out. The Titanic south of us here in Boston.
Can you see that?
Yep.
Look at that.
That's the ticket. So it says, no, it just says Pavilion 50 cents, Boston American League, blah, 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 dated 1912, April 19th. Signed, and it's a full ticket.
Here's what it's a full ticket, right?
Correct.
Because the game was obviously rained out.
Correct.
So the fact that it's a full ticket,
So
I haven't done the research, Tom. The game was probably called early. In other words, not like where someone entered the ballpark.
Well, I did some research on that.
There was a rain delay.
It rained. It actually rained on the 18th and the 19th. It rained the day before, and it continued
so
into
the field
the 19th.
Was saturated.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then they played on the 20th.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Red Sox, of course, beat the Yankees, but that's beside the point. All right, we are chatting with Joe. We got a few more minutes. Joe, I want to talk about the Wagner cards, okay? Now, you guys, and then we'll take a break. You guys, just in your most recent auction, it was the Shields, a newly discovered Wagner, T206 Wagner from the Shields family. The card was about 116 years old. You guys sold it for $5 million and change. I
Came
believe.
from the grandfather.
Came from the grandfather. You guys sold it for what? About $5.5 million.
$5,124,000.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question about. Now you've been in this business a long time, and I know you guys with other companies and with Golden have handled many Wagner cards. Take Ken Kendricks, put that aside. Okay. What's the next perfect Wagner in your estimation?
Well, not perfect.
No, but
so I'm not going to say who owns it.
Okay, well, I'm going to mention.
I know who owns it, but publicly,
now,
I'm not going to say who owns it.
Okay, is it this? It's not Scott Island?
It is.
Okay, so Scott and I have talked about it, and Scott said I could mention it. Now, Scott's Wagner is graded a 5, correct?
Right.
But isn't there another? What's the jumbo Wagner graded?
The jumbo's a 5 MC. It's a little miscut, but it's not at the level Scott's is at, but that Scott's Wagner is at. But it's not far behind. And there's an SGC 5 that a very dear friend of mine owns.
I tried to get him on the show.
And it actually has an NBA gold label on it, too. It has the best, other than the Gretzky, McCall Wagner, the 8.
Yeah.
It has, the SGC 5 has the best background orange color. The orange hue is so, rich and striking. But the PSA 5 has the better corners. I would think the PSA 5 has to be worth $40 to $50 million.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you because Scott, I can right now. Based on my conversation with him last week, and we were on the phone for quite a while. He's a good guy. He's got no intentions of ever selling that card. That card, that is the one item he said is going to kind of go through his family. Now, so if his card is worth 45 to 50 million, which I, by the way,
I'm going to say 40 to 50.
What is Kenny Kendrick's card worth?
It's impossible to put a price on it. It's impossible. It would have to go to auction. Is it 60
you
can
million?
argue. You can argue, and I'll tell you what I think it's worth. I think it's worth 9 figures. It should be worth 9 figures. But maybe it goes for 75. It's you know what, guys? It's like the PSA 10 52 Topps mantle.
Right.
There's 3 of them. You know, some of the owners would say 50, they would say 75. You can't put a price on that. It would have to go to public auction.
All right, Joe T is in the house. Joe
Hang on.
Tomasulo.
Give me-
Go ahead,
give me
Louis.
a
I'm
chance
sorry.
to size this market a little bit. You talked about the first card that sold for $5 million. If I told you a card signed for $5 million, how many guesses would you have to take before you got the guy who sold it? How many people are willing to spend $5 million at a
Great
golden
question.
auction for any card? I mean, I'm trying to get an idea of how big the market is.
That's a very good question.
It's a great question, Lou. And as far as pure collectors are concerned, you know, I mean, I could think without mentioning names, I know 8 to 10 people minimum.
So,
Maybe
I mean, but so
that
Joe,
would pay that. But there are plenty of investors outside of the hobby that want that card. The T206 Wagner, Lou, transcends beyond the hobby.
Yeah.
It's a global icon. It's like a Rembrandt or the inverted Jenny stamp or the 1913 Liberty V nickel.
yeah, but hold on, Louis. Were you referring to not just a Wagner card, but memorabilia in that price range?
If something we're going to go for $5 million,
Yeah.
if
So-
you were to set up a room for an auction for a $5 million item, how many people would show up?
Doesn't have to be a Wagner. I mean, that's a real small club, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people can write that check.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 15, 10 to 20, somewhere in there. And that's a lot of people. So in an auction thing, the Babe Ruth cold shot jersey sold for $24 million. A Pokemon card.
I know.
Thank you, Golden Auctions. Sold for $16.5 million, which was $3.6 million higher than the previous record for a trading card that sold in Heritage, the 52 tops,
Crazy
9.5 mantle. So think of it like this, guys, real quick. The 5.1 sale was a $2 million increase, 64.5% increase over the last PSA 1 public sale, which was the spring of 22. So in 4 years, someone got 65% more. So that's pretty impressive.
Crazy stuff. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Joe T is in the house. We're going to come back with a crackerjack moment. Joe's with us for the whole hour. No other guest. He is our guest. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
Let's go! Batter up!
Hi, everyone. This is Rico Petrocelli. JustCollect.com, a leader in the vintage sports card industry, is giving free appraisals on your vintage cards. They'll evaluate your collection for free and let you know the value of it at no cost and no obligation. If you're ready to sell, JustCollect.com will offer you industry-leading prices to buy your card collection. To begin your free baseball card appraisal, visit JustCollect.com or call them at 732-828-2261. That's JustCollect.com for your free vintage card appraisals and top buy prices for your cards. Check out JustCollect.com today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
With record-breaking sales from everything from the white border T206 Honus Wagner for $3.12 million to some great items that support the Jackie Robinson Foundation, Golden Auctions has set the highest standards for the finest in sports cards, autographs, and game-used memorabilia. We're always accepting consignments of high-end premium sports treasures or entire collections. Please register for our next auction and bid now at goldenauctions.com. That's golden with an I. We at Golden Auctions are committed to providing unsurpassed customer service for the discriminating collector. That's exactly why we're the leader in the industry. Visit goldenauctions.com or call 856-767-8550. Remember, Golden Auctions. We don't just break records, we shatter them.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Well, look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we are back, and Joe Tomasulo's in the house from Golden Auctions, but right now it's time for another Crackerjack moment brought to us by our good friend Paul Borges and PB Collectibles. Go to pbcollectibles.com for that special vintage card at an amazing price. Joe, did you see Paul at Philly at all this past week?
I did not, Tom.
Because I know he was there. I don't know if he said hi to you. Anyway, this week, and by the way, we only have a few books left that our distributor found. We've got a couple of books left. Lou will tell you about it in a few minutes. This week, we're talking about Mordecai Brown, one of the most dominant pitchers of the dead ball era. Three-finger Mordecai Brown won at least 20 games on 6 different occasions and won at least 12 games over another 5 seasons. Brown turned a serious childhood injury to his throwing hand to his advantage, working to develop a mind-boggling curveball that simply froze batters in their tracks. Besides earning him a nickname, Brown's injury also allowed him to throw a very deceptive changeup that baffled batters. Brown's battles against one of our all-star pitchers, Christy Mathewson, was legendary. He had a superb season in 1908 when he went 29-9 with a 1.47 earned run average, and his 27 wins in 1909 led the National League. His amazing stats include leading the NL in saves 4 seasons, shutouts twice, complete games twice, and fielding percentage. Although Brown pitched in many renowned World Series games, He always maintained that his best performance was in the one-game playoff after the Merkel debacle. As his career was winding down, Brown made a brief stop to the Federal League, managing the Terriers for part of the 1914 season, and then finished back in the National League. After retiring, Brown pitched and managed in the minors until 1920 and later pitched in exhibition games. With 55 career shutouts, World Series championships in 1907 and 1908, and all of those 20-plus win seasons, Three-Finger Mordecai Brown was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1949. Unfortunately, the master of deceptive pitches had passed away the previous year in 1948 and never got the opportunity to address his fans. And that's another crackerjack moment.
To get one of the few remaining copies of this great book, go to tomzaplamedia.com/Crackerjack Collection to order your copy of the Crackerjack Collection, baseball's prize players. This great book will give you a glimpse into the personal and professional lives of the players in this iconic collection. That's the Crackerjack Collection, on sale now, 30% off the regular price at tomzaplamedia.com/Crackerjack Collection.
Hey, Joe, tell me about the Philly show. You guys were there. Did you pick up any good consignments?
Yeah, tallied over $1 million.
No kidding.
Yep. Got a second-year Boston store Babe Ruth and a 3.5. 1910 Nadja Honus Wagner in SGC 4 holder.
Nice.
That's a 150 plus card. We just sold a 1.5 for 81,000, which was a record in itself.
Yeah.
Bunch of T206s, PSA 7 green card in a, which is a 6-figure card.
What was the grade on it?
A PSA 7.
Wow.
Yep. And we got Crackerjack Cobb, Crackerjack Jackson, just some great stuff.
Getting back for a second to Scott Island's collection, it's freaking mind-boggling, Joe. It's absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, he's got he's like the 1914 Crackerjack set. I mean, it's like off the charts. The Jackie Robinson rookie jersey. I mean, what's that thing worth today? I mean, it just goes on and on and on with his collection.
It's amazing. He actually owns one of the 6 1921 Frederick photo roots.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's got the second highest graded, a 3.5.
Unbelievable. And he's from Louis. Scott is the most down-to-earth guy you will ever meet. He lives in Burlington, Vermont.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with his family, and just a good guy, just really, really good guy. I wanted to talk to you, Joe. We get into these discussions all the time, you and I want to just throw a couple of names out at you.
Here we go.
Pujols or Gehrig?
Oh, God. That's the wrong guy to ask.
No, because I'm going to take issue with him.
I got to go with Gehrig. Because look, I know you and Lou are going to go back to 21st century, that whole, modern versus, pre-war. The numbers are more meaningful. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it, especially with someone like Gehrig. Gehrig's numbers are ridiculous. And God only knows what his numbers would have been if he didn't get struck down with ALS.
Yeah, but Joe, hold on. He got struck down towards the end of his career.
Time out.
Go ahead.
It wasn't the end. He died at the age of, I think, 37.
Yeah.
He got struck down with ALS at the age of 30, late 33, 34. So what people don't realize was in 1938, Gehrig was pushing for his second Triple Crown season. He was on a tear going into August, leading the league in almost every offensive category. And inexplicably, he hit a wall. his average dropped in the last 2 months from like 360, 370 to like 296.
No, I understand that.
No. So he was in, Tom, the way he was going, he would have had another 2-3 solid years.
How many years did he play? 15?
Well, his first full season was 25. He got a handful of at-bats in 23 and 24. So from 25 through 38, 14 seasons.
14.
That's
All
it.
right. So
You're right.
Pujols did play 22 years. I'm looking at this right now.
Right.
But
And
I tell you, man,
Derek was not slowing down. He
Yeah, but
wasn't showing any signs
well,
of slowing down.
I'm just saying, though, if you look at Albert's numbers, man, I mean, 3,300 hits, 703 home runs. Crazy stuff, Joe.
What's his OPS?
His OPS was 374.
No,
What do you mean, no?
OPS.
Oh, I'm sorry, OPS 918.
Garrick's pushed 1.1. Right, that's it. I mean, guys, if you're gonna go sabermetrics, OPS is the most defining statistic for a hitter. It's combination power, get on base, average, you name it. It
Louis?
rolls it all into one.
What are your thoughts?
I'm going to go the other way on Pujols a little bit because the thing about Pujols has a Yaz kind of tinge to me. Yaz wouldn't be a Hall of Famer if he didn't play 20 odd years. He had 67, and that was basically about it. And he was a Triple Crown winner, the last Triple Crown winner for a number of years. I get into it. Pujols was exceptional early in his career. The last 5, 6, 7 years of his career were mediocre or not great.
Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
We were having this.
He kind of hung on, right, Lou?
He kind of hung on, and that built up his career numbers in general. When he was at the prime of his career, we were having this discussion the other day among best right-handed hitters we've ever seen, and I would have put Manny is the best right-handed hitter I've ever seen, but I would have put Pujols above him in his prime. Gary Sheffield was obviously great as a right-handed hitter as well, but Pujols was a great player. And Joe, you and I have this basic disagreement about, and it comes down to cornfield or when was he born. If Lou Gehrig walks out of the cornfield in the major league into the World Baseball Classic today, he gets used. If he's born in 2000, he's probably still a star. It's just different eras, different.
So I kind of agree with what Lou's saying, Joe. That argument.
Here's what you guys don't take into consideration. Lou Gehrig was ahead of his time. He was a physical specimen. I mean, there's plenty of photos out there of Gehrig taking batting practice shirtless, like Jimmy Fox.
Yeah.
They were beasts. Sort of like Jim Brown in football. Jim Brown was ahead of his time. He ran over defenses. Of course, size-wise, strength-wise, way ahead of his time.
But
so what I'm leading to, what would Gehrig look like and his body? Obviously, the eye-hand coordination is there. If, in fact, he used today's technology.
Well, that's what Lou's saying, the same thing.
Yeah.
Lou's saying he's saying the same thing. Same thing with Ruth.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with Ruth. Same thing with Jimmy Fox. Same thing with Ty Cobb.
I can say with a certain amount of certainty that if they walked out of the cornfield, they would not compete in today's baseball. If they were born in 2000, then we have a discussion. I have no idea how that would work out because Gehrig was obviously extremely talented and physical.
And I love going at Tom with this because I know Tom thinks he's overrated. Because I'm going to bring up Joe DiMaggio. Guys,
most overrated player in the history of the game.
Whatever.
DiMaggio?
Anyway, Tom, you're entitled
Overrated.
to your opinion.
I'm not saying he wasn't phenomenal, but I'm saying there are two players in my mind that stick out as being overrated. One is Joe DiMaggio and one is Mickey Mantle.
I'm going to lean with you a little on Mantle. Not DiMaggio. I think DiMaggio's underrated. DiMaggio wore out the best pitches. He batted 350, 360 lifetime against fella who threw 100 miles an hour and had one of the best top 5 curveballs in baseball history. So if you want to talk about electric stuff like today's game, DiMaggio's there. And the reason DiMaggio was such an enigma for his time, he had no stride. You know, guys, back then everyone had the stride as a hitter. DiMaggio was basically a pioneer. He had the wide open stance, just lifted the front foot up and down, no waste in his swing, and he could wear out Fella, and he could wear out Paul Skeens.
All right, so Joe, who do you go with? Do you go with DiMaggio or Mays?
5 tool, obviously, with the lifetime stats, I go Mays. Peak value, which we're going to get into with two very good right-handed pitchers shortly. Peak value, I have to go DiMaggio. And Lou, God strike me down. This is a true story.
Yep.
My father was a passionate New York Giants fan. Hated the Yankees and the Dodgers. You know, watched all the games, mid-40s through the 50s. Who was his hero? Willie Mays.
Yep.
My father told me it galled him and burned his hide that Willie Mays couldn't light a candle to Joe DiMaggio. And my father was a superior ball player. He knew the game back and forth. Being a Mays diehard, hating the Yankees, he always told me DiMaggio was the superior player because he was the far superior hitter.
Okay, I'm talking out of my behind on most of this because I didn't see DiMaggio, obviously, and all that.
And neither did I.
And
if we were going to put players in a overrated, underrated bin, Mays is an overrated bin for me.
Is you? How can you say that, Louis?
Wow, that's
tell me what your rationale
is.
Lou,
what's behind
I'll
that?
tell you what. I'll do the comp for the same reason I think the Beatles were overrated. Not because they weren't. Not because
You've
they
been
weren't
saying that for years.
Yeah,
John, can you make sure security escorts Lou from the studio?
Not because they weren't great. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they weren't as good as everybody thought they were. That's all. I mean,
his numbers, Lou, they just jump out at you.
I know. Not that he wasn't good, but he's not DiMaggio level
right. And Tom, here's the thing. And look, I agree with Lou, DiMaggio versus Mays. I don't think Mays was overrated, but I think peak value, DiMaggio was far superior. And like I said, my father hated him and every Yankee and every Brooklyn Dodger. But he told me every day of every week of every year, DiMaggio far superior. DiMaggio didn't swing and miss, Tom. He didn't miss the baseball.
All right.
I'm not putting down Willie Mays.
No, and I know that. We can agree to disagree, but
I haven't judged passes that in 2 years.
Let's get on to the next argument, Lou. And I think I'm praying, Lou.
By the way, Yaz is in the overrated bin.
I don't disagree with that. I do not disagree with that.
You mean 67? September of 67 was magical, mythical. It was incredible. But that was Yaz's career.
I totally agree with you.
20 odd years.
You're not going to get an argument from me. All right. So now here's the question, Lou. Now I want you to. I can't get through to this guy, Louis.
Pedro, I got the numbers.
I don't want to hear the numbers. I'm talking to my producer, Louis. Pedro or Seaver?
Pedro or Seaver? Peak career.
Yes.
Peak?
Well, no, both peak and career.
Career Seaver, peak Pedro.
So you're saying, you're saying career Seaver,
career
peak
Seaver,
Pedro, and you're saying career Seaver because he pitched longer?
Because he pitched well longer. Pedro had 4 years, maybe 5.
Lou 7. A string of 7 great years.
Hurt himself in the All-Star game. Was never the same pitcher after that.
Yeah, after that 99, he wasn't.
Yep.
Right. So Lou is correct, Tom. And Tom, here is some real inspiring numbers. So Pedro's 7-year run, okay? And hold on. Actually, I wrote it down here. From 97 to 03. Pedro had a 2.2 ERA over that 7-year span. averaging 11 strikeouts per 9 innings, 5 strikeouts to every walk. Okay?
Pretty nice numbers.
And an 0.94 whip. Those are off the chart numbers. Those are Koufax numbers. Koufax's numbers are even lower. Now,
especially in comparison to late 90s baseball, in the context of what late 90s baseball was.
right.
Correct,
Lou.
Yeah.
Correct. However, I do agree that great pitching stops good hitting 24/7 regardless.
Yep.
Now, here's the interesting thing with Seaver. Seaver's greatest 7-year straight run, consecutive run, was from the first day he threw a baseball in the major leagues, 67 through 73. Seaver's ERA over that span, Pedro's numbers are better, was 2.38. And that's not hogwash. Okay.
Nope. How many strikeouts per game?
8 strikeouts per 9 innings. Okay. Pedro is 11. Pedro wins. Seaver's whip was 1. Pedro's was a little better. But again, here's the difference. Seaver's peak 7 years is not light years from Pedro's 7 years.
Correct.
Pedro's is just better. And Seaver threw in that period 35 shutouts. Pedro threw like 11. Okay. Pedro completed like 17 games in those 17
All
years.
right. So what talk about Seaver's numbers after those 7 years?
Okay. So lifetime, Seaver averaged, and by the way, here's another thing, guys. In those 7 years, Seaver averaged 275 innings, or 8 innings per start. Pedro averaged 201 innings, or 7 innings per start.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. That Seaver pretty much consistently got 24 to 27 outs, and Pedro was getting 21 outs. To me, that is one of the most underrated statistics in pitching, that these pitchers don't have to get the last 6 outs of a game. Now, Tom, let's piggyback off what you asked. Seaver lifetime had a 2.86 ERA, 311 wins, 3,640 strikeouts. He is one of only 2 pitchers in baseball history, along with Walter Johnson, who's the greatest pitcher ever, to strike out more than 3,000 batters, win over 300 games, and have a sub-3 ERA. For anyone listening to this show, scrambling to baseballreference.com, don't waste your time. Those are the stats. 2 pitches, that's it. Pedro's lifetime
We're going to
numbers.
take a break, Lucas.
Yeah, his lifetime
way,
numbers just can't compare to Seaver's.
This is the way I love to ask this question, though. We're playing a game for the planet tonight against aliens. Who's pitching? You get anybody at their prime.
I'm gonna give the ball to Pedro over Seaver. One game.
Okay, but let's open it up to everybody.
Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson, good choice.
Bob
That's
Gibson
a good
gets the
choice.
ball.
You know something? I think I agree with that.
67, 68, Bob Gibson. Yeah.
Untouchable. Untouchable.
And
listen.
if it wasn't for Jim Northrop tracking down Kurt Flood's fly ball like he was flying a kite in Game 7 of the 68 World Series, that result might have been different.
Bob Gibson has the greatest baseball quote of all time when Tim McCarver came out to talk to him. He said, "What are you doing out here? The only thing you know about pitching is you can't hit it."
Lou, I love that. And before Tom goes to a break, I'm going to give you a great Seaver quote.
Yep.
There are 2 places in baseball, first place and no place.
All right, listen, we're going to take a break. Joe's in the house. We have one more short segment. Hang in there. We shall return.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on the tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. Highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
Okay, we are back, and Joe T's in the house. By the way, the Northeast Sports Card Expo returns to the Boston area on Saturday, March 28th and Sunday, March 29th at the Marriott Boston Quincy in beautiful Quincy, Massachusetts, named, by the way, after John Quincy Adams, for a huge weekend built for collectors. With 26,000 square feet of expo space and 180-plus vendor tables, the show is loaded with sports cards, sports memorabilia, non-sports cards, Pokemon, toys, Funkos, and more. Whether you're buying, selling, or trading, everything you're looking for is under one roof. All autograph guests at the Northeast Sports Card Expos in Quincy will offer one free autograph with paid admission. Here are some of the autograph guests appearing at the show. Tim Sweeney, former Boston Bruins player and U.S. Olympian; Ronnie Lepet, former New England Patriots player; Russ Hochstein, former New England Patriots offensive lineman; Manny Del Carmen, World Series champion with the Red Sox; Jimmy Lomborg, Red Sox Cy Young Award winner; Tater Leia, former Philadelphia Flyers player, and many, many more. And by the way, from The Sopranos, John Fieri, who played Gigi, and Frank Santarelli, who played Georgie. And there's more. Some of the other highlights: free raffle entry with paid admission, and free commemorative show poster for the first 200 attendees each day. Sports mascot appearances, including Pikachu, and kids under 12 get free admission. For more information, go to northeastcardexpo.com. That's northeastcardexpo.com. And Louis, what about insurance? What about our good friend, Tom Finkelmeyer?
It's Pikachu, by the way.
Pikachu. What did I say? Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Oh, Pikachu was the painter. That's right.
I gotta say, it was the Italian pronunciation.
Tom, could I jump in here for a quick second?
Yeah.
Lou, a great way, just piggybacking off our last discussion, you should check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, WAR is one of the most important indicators of a player's efficiency and significance.
Yep.
They do the WAR thing. So a great sabermetician named Jay Jaffe wanted to balance peak value versus career WAR.
Mm-hmm.
So he came up with a system called JAWS, JAWS, like the movie.
Are you familiar with that, Lou?
A little bit.
It's called the basically.
I hate war, so I haven't figured.
Right, but it's basically the Jaffe War system. He measures 50% career versus 50% peak, and he takes the 7 best seasons for the peak. And interestingly enough, in that JAWS barometer, Seaver is ranked 6th lifetime.
Oh.
And I think Pedro is 12th.
Really?
Okay? But Seaver's really 5 and Pedro's 11, because Roger Clemens should be eliminated from that ranking.
I totally agree. But
Yes,
Louis doesn't.
Really eliminated.
All right.
So they're both high. Tom, back. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
that's okay. That's great. That's a great stat. Louis, let's talk about our man, Tom Finkelmeyer.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 1980s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting in Tom Jr., who is the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting and with a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management. Tom covers every aspect of your collectibles insurance needs. Unlike some companies that sell collectibles insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. Representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance, there's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance. Our good friend and hobby legend John Tobby of JT Sports has been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information for your collection, go to thefia.com. That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is our passion.
Hey, how about that guy? How about Bam Adebayo? Did you see that? Scored 83 points last night
No.
for the Miami Heat. 83.
I missed that, Tom. Wow.
Yeah, scored 83 points. Broke whose record was it? No, it wasn't MJ's. I can't remember who held the record.
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, Kobe. It was Kobe. It was Kobe. He broke Kobe's record.
Will anyone ever do 100 points?
I'm sorry?
Will anyone ever do 100?
Oh, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. You know, it's funny because, you know, in the book we're doing, Joe, that, by the way, you've been a big help with the stuff that you've been involved with. You know, we're doing that section. One chapter is called Lost Treasures, and that's on the items that have been lost. That, you know, where are they? What happened to them? And one of them is Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point basketball. Nobody knows whatever happened to that ball. So pretty interesting.
Could be among
Could be in your safe.
3 million women.
Yeah, could be. You know, whatever. Listen, we're just about. We got a few minutes left, Joe. Upcoming auctions. What do you got coming up down the road?
Well, we have a February Elite auction ending this Saturday.
Yeah.
Then March Elite starts next week on the 18th. The next Golden 100 is in May. My next vintage auction is starting June 3rd and ending the 27th, taking consignments for that. And this is interesting, guys. You'll like this. Ken came up with the great idea of having a USA 250 auction.
Oh, I like it.
We'll probably have 400 or 500 items. That's going to start in May and end in June. And I just got a great
Wait, are they historical items or are they going to be sports
It could be
items?
anything. And it could be Washington, Lincoln, Marilyn Monroe, Presley, any great Americana.
I like it.
So listen to this. I just got a letter signed by Ali to the Boxing Commission requesting his name in May 66 be changed from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. Wow. And it's matted in frame with the poster of the boxer he's fighting with his name first listed on the poster as Muhammad Ali.
But you're also going to have some historical stuff too?
Everything. Anything Americana, Tom. What do you, maybe, Tom, what about that hat?
No, but I
Maybe,
got some stuff. Look, I remember I live in a 300-year-old house.
Right.
How about some beautiful stuff from the James Chase collection? One of the foremost greatest pottery makers in the history of the American public. He was a famous pottery maker.
It's got to be iconic, legendary stuff.
He's renowned in Merrimackport.
Well, he's got pieces in the Smithsonian that went for $500,000. Now, I don't say that I have his piece, but what I do have, I have buckets of pottery sherds that Helen and I have found in the mud down by the water. Do those count?
No.
Come on, Lou.
Tom, I think I may have to pass on that.
I'll get him signed. No way. All right, Joe. Listen, we're just about out of time. There was one thing one other thing before we go. 3 Mantles: Fogels, Kendricks, and Anonymous. How much better is Fogels than Kendricks? I mean, they're both 10s.
Yeah, off the top of my head, Tom, I can't definitively answer that.
Really?
I would have to see a recent scan of both of them and make a judgment call.
I mean,
looking at
Ken
the
has
scans.
said that Fogels is better than his, and they're both 10s, but I'm just curious.
That's the word on the street, Tom. But on my own kangaroo court, on my own judge and jury.
So what's a PSA 10? What's Marshall Fogel's card worth? Is it worth as much as Kenny Kendrick's T206 Wagner?
No.
No way?
No. I can't see it. I mean, I think it's worth. I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I would say I think it's worth at least $50 million. But I don't think, because there are 3 of them, I don't see it being 9 figures.
Gotcha. All right, Joseph.
The Wagner could be 9 figures.
That's amazing. Just amazing. All right, Joe.
Isn't
Listen, as always, man, we love having you on the show. You're a very special part of the show. You have been for many years, and we appreciate it. And keep in touch, and make sure that Kenny
and
well,
give Lou my cell number. We never got into the detail of why the Beatles are overrated. Lou, I want to have that discussion.
No, wait a second.
They were great, but they just weren't as good as everybody thought.
You know why he says that? He compares.
Why don't we do it in a road? Okay.
No, listen.
Why don't we do it in a road?
His Beatles reference, his baseball reference Beatles, is like Pujols was. The last 3 or 4 years that they were together, he's saying that they produce slop. Correct, Lou?
It's more than 3 or 4 years, but yeah.
No, I don't think. I think Lou's has a lot more years on his mind than 3 or 4.
Yeah. I like the first 4 albums.
All right, listen, we're out of time. Joe, say hi to everyone, and I'm glad you had a good Philly show, and we'll see you down the road.
Guys, always the highlight of my day.
Take care. With that being said, Louis, have a good week. And to our viewers and listeners, again, thank you for all of the support. We love you guys, and happy collecting.